Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Today we shall do the Punaravartanam of the previous class. In the whole class, we are going to revise what we have studied in the previous class. Because that is very important concept. Uh, so I wanted to revise that again today.
अस्तु महोदय।
येन धौत येनाक्षरसमां नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। अज्ञानान्दस्य लोकस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयां चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्. Okay, in the last class we discussed these three sutras. Shashti Sthane Yoga Tasminniti Nirdishte Purvasya Tasmadityuttarasya. Shashti Sthane Yoga tells about Shashti Vibhakti. Tasmin iti nirdishte purvasya saptami tasmadityuttarasya panchami. By Shashti Sthana Yoga, we learned that the Shashti in a sutra refers to Sthani, the place where the actual change takes place. So, let us consider two examples for each of these sutras. Shashti Sthana Yoga, because if you know how to interpret Shashti, Panchami, and Saptami, Pratama in different sutras, it will be very easy to understand the basic meaning of that sutras. For example, if you consider the sutra Lopo Vyor Vali, I just want you to understand these three sutras in this class. If you don't understand the other sutra which I give as examples, or the prakriya which I am going to give over there, if you don't understand it, it's okay. But I just want you to understand these three sutras correctly. The first sutra is Shashti Sthana Yoga, because we are going to study these sutras later in the course of our discussion. But I am giving here as an examples to understand these sutras. So if you can understand this sutra, that will be enough. But try to understand whatever I am going to explain. The sutra is Lopo Vyor Vali. Lopo Vyoho Vali. It is not Lopo, it is Lopo. Lopo Vyor Vali. 6166. Lopo. Usually, if a word ends with Okara, or then usually it is from this Pratama. There will be Visarga Sandhi. This Visarga has been converted like this. If we can assume so, but it is not true for all 100% of the cases, because sometimes the word actually may be end with Okara, like Sambodhana Ekavachana form of Ukaranta words. Bhanu, Bhanu, Guru, Guru. There, Guru, it is not from Visarga. The word Sambodhana Ekavachana form of Guru will be Guru only. But usually we can see if there is a Rasva Akara in the beginning of the next word, or Mrudu Venjana. Mrudu Venjana means all the third, fourth, and fifth letter of each varga. Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, those five vargas. Third, fourth, and fifth, and Ya, Ra, La, Va, and Ha. These are called as Mrudu Venjana. By Pratyara, they can be called as hush letter. Hush from a word ha. Jabagada the sh. Hush. This is the pratyara which covers all the mrudu vyanjana. If a hush letter is present after this O, then we can tell it is from visarga. But again, there may be hush letter, there may be some word which ends with O by in its original form. So we have to if we have any doubt, we can refer to some commentaries where the padacheda has been given. So it is lopo is the pratama ekavachana of lopaha. Since here vakara is a hush letter, visarga has been converted to here o. Lopo. Vyoho is the shashti dvivachana form of vakara and yakara. You see, vakara and yakara are the two entities. So dvivachana has been used. Dvivachana pratyaya in shashti vibhakti is was. Usually, if there are more than one entity, we add the pratyaya to the last entity. Here, the last entity is yakara. So if we add os to yakara, it becomes yos, and sakara at the end becomes visarga. So it becomes vyoho. Vyoha means it is the shashti dvivachana form of vakara and yakara. And vali, again vyoho and vali, there is visarga sandhi, visargasya repadesha. Visarga has been converted to repa. We will going to study these visarga sandhis later. This vali is the saptami ekavachana form of val pratyara. Ach becomes achi, like that val becomes vali. So by shashti sthane yoga, here shashti is represented by, or sorry, vyoho is in shashti. So vyoho, that is vakara and yakara, these are the sthani. It means the change happens in the place of vakara and yakara is the meaning. So I take like this. And what is this change? Usually the change will be in pratama. So it is lopaha, vyoho lopaha. Vyoho lopa means vakarasya yakarasya cha lopaha. Kada vali pare. It means when when the lopa of vakara and yakara happen, when it is followed by a val letter. Vali is in saptami. We learned that it is saptami represents paranimitta. So val is in saptami. It means vakara and yakara should be before val letters, because tasminniti nirdishte purvasya, the change happens before the saptami represented word. So saptami, the val is represented in saptami. So the sthani should be before that word. Vakara and yakara should be before val. So the whole meaning can be expressed in this equation. Vakara and yakara, if they are followed by val letter, then vakara or yakara, they get deleted is the meaning. So val represents all the consonants except yakara. If you go here, Shiva Sutrani, from Ayavarat, vakara is here, va, and l from the last sutra, hal. So val means up from va, vara, la, nyamanganana, jaba, gadadash, jabagadada, gadada, jabagadada, kapachatata, chatata, kapa, shashasa, ha. So except this ha, every consonants, every vyanjana is present in val pratyahara. This ha is not included here. Anyway, it will be again included from here. So except ha, except ya, val represents all the other vyanjanas. So if there is a val letter, it means any consonant other than yakara here, then vakara and yakara gets deleted is the meaning of this sutra. So we can, if you know how to interpret different vibhakti forms in a sutra, then it will be somewhat easy for us to interpret or understand the sutra. If you take some example for this sutra, ui plus ta. Ta is a krut pratyaya, where kakara is ith letter, so it gets deleted and takara remains. So ui is the dhatu, ta is added to the dhatu. So here yakara is there, and after that takara is there. Takara is a val letter because it is a vyanjana, and it is not ear because val contains all vyanjana except yakara. Yakara is not here; it is takara. So at this stage, lopo vyorvali is applicable. So yakarasya lopah bhavati. अतः ऊई प्लस ता इति अग्रे ऊता यकारस्य लोपे कृते ऊत इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. एवमेव जीव रदानुकिस्य उणादि प्रत्यय जीव इस धातु. Unadi pratyaya is they don't belongs to those 7 types of pratyayas. They are outside the Ashtadhyayi. I don't want to go in details of those, but they are always added to dhatus, just like krut pratyayas, and the resultant forms are also pratipadika, as in case of krut pratyaya. Here kakara is ith letter, and jiv plus radanu is the stage where this lopo vyorvali is applicable. Here vakara is there, followed by a val letter. This ra comes in val pratyara, so vaha vali lopaha. Vakarasya vali val pratyaye. Sorry, it is not pratyaya. Val pratyahare. If a letter from val pratyahara is present after vakara, then vakara gets deleted. So it becomes jiradanu. Jiradanu. So this is the meaning of lopo vyorvali. Again, we are going to study this sutra in this sequence when we are going to study the different sandhis. So I am just going to explain. I am just explaining the meaning of this sutra, Shashti Sthana Yoga. To understand this sutra clearly, I am giving examples. So if you can understand this perfectly, if you can understand this, it will be it's okay. If you don't understand also, we are going to study this again. Lopo vyorvali. All the examples we are going to study them in later. I expect you to understand these 3 sutras completely in this class. The next example is Madupadayascha Maturvo Yavadibhyaha. 8 to 9. Mad, if you do the Padacheda, it is Mat Panchami Ekavachana. Upadayaha Cha Upadayascha. It becomes Matoho. Here Visarga is there. Visargasya Repaha Bhavati. Mator, it becomes Mator Vaha Ayavadibhyaha. Matoho is the Shashti Ekavachana. Vaha is the Pratama Ekavachana. Matoho Vaha Ayavadibhyaha. Here Purva Rupa Sandhi is there between Vaha and Ayavadibhyaha. We will study all those sandhis later, so I don't go to details of those sandhis between these different words in the sutra. So I just want you to understand that mat is in panchami ekavachana, upadayaha is in panchami, matohi in shashti, vaha is in pratama, ayavadibhyaha. This is an exception for this rule given in this sutra. Mat means here 2 entities are there. The first one is makara and the second one is a. This at is the we have added Panchami Ekavachana Pratyaya to this A. So the Panchami Ekavachana of A is At. By A here, it represents all its Savarna. Here A can be Rasvar, Dirgar, Pluta. So Mat is the Panchami ekavachana of the makara and a. You may ask, there are two entities, why dvivachana has not been used here? So if you take makara and akara as separately, then we have to use dvivachana form. But if we make the samasa of these two, it becomes ma. Ma is a single word. So then panchami ekavachana will be used. So panchami ekavachana of ma is mat. Like Rama becomes Ramat, ma becomes mat. Upadayaha cha. Upadayaha cha means upada means the penultimate letter. Upadayaha means uh, the letter which is present in upada. Cha means if makara and akara, if they are present at the end, or if they are present in the upada also, that also is represented by this cha. It means there is a letter at the end if makara is present in the second position from the last, or akara is present in upada position, then also this sutra is applicable. Matoho is the shashti ekavachana of matu. Guru becomes guroho, like that. Matu becomes matoho. Matu is the shashti ekavachana pratyaya for matu. Here matu represents a taddita pratyaya matup. There is a taddita pratyaya called as matup. You can see that. This is the sutra which gives matu pratyaya. Tadasyasti asminniti matuppo. अस्या तथा अस्मिन् एतयोः अर्थयोः अस्ति इत्यनेन निर्देश्यमानात् प्रथमसामार्थात् मतु प्रत्ययः विधीयते. Okay. It is present in that, or that as this thing, in that sense, matu pratyaya is added to a pratipadika. For example, Rama as buddhi, or buddhi is present in Rama. Either that thing should be present within that object, or the object may have that thing, not necessarily within that, but it may belongs to that. For example, Ramasya Gruham Asti. Ramasya Gruham Asti means Rama has house. It doesn't mean Rama has house within his body or within his mind, like that, but it belongs to Rama. The house belongs to Rama is the meaning of that sentence. Rama as intelligence means that intelligence is present within his personality. So either in Saptami or Shashti, if it is belongs to him, or if we ask him, in that sense, Matu Pratyaya is sorted to some Pratipadika. For example, if we have Bala, if some person has Bala, if we add Matu Pratyaya, it becomes Bala plus, here in Matu Pratyaya, that Pakara is it and U is also it. So only Mat remains after deletion of this it letters. For this Matu Pratyaya, this sutra is applicable. This sutra tells that if this if there is Matu Pratyaya after Makara or Akara, or if the Makara or Akara are present in penultimate position also, then this Ma of Matu Pratyaya, Matoho Vaha. Matoho is the Sthani. Matoho is the Sthani since it is in Shashti. Matoho, and it means Makarasya Vaha. It is in Pratama, so it represents the Adesha. So this makara gets deleted. Sorry, it is not gets deleted. It will be replaced by vakara. So if we see the example, if makara is followed by matu pratyaya, then this makara, it is not vakara here. The makara of the matu pratyaya will be replaced by vakara. Similarly, if akara is followed by matu pratyaya, then makara of matu pratyaya will be replaced by vakara. Now, if we see the example, sham matu pratyaya, sham asti asmin अथवा sam sham asya asti asmin arte matu pratyaya is added. This is the drushya roop of that pratyaya. Here, this matu pratyaya is followed by makara of sham pratipadika. So, at this stage, since matup is followed by makara, this makara of the pratyaya has been replaced by vakara. So the final form will be shamvat. This makara undergoes anuswara desha later by different sutra. By this sutra, this makara has been changed to vakara. Shamvat. Here in bala balaha astya asti or asmin अस्ति इति अर्थे बल शब्दात् मतु प्रत्ययः विधीयते. Matu pratyaya is added to the pratipadika bala. Then here matu pratyaya is followed by rasva akara. It can be dirgha also. Here it is rasva akara. At this stage, this makara of the pratyaya undergo change to vakara. So it becomes bala, mat becomes balavat. So balavat is the pratipadika. In pullinga it becomes balavan. Similarly, if the makara is present in upada means the second position from the last. Here, the last letter is e, dirgha e. Before that, makara is there. That is in upada position. Then also this makara gets changes to vakara. That is the meaning of upadayascha. So this makara becomes vakara. Shami mat becomes shamivat. Similarly, if the akara is present in the upada position, in payas, the last letter is sakara. Before that, rasvakara is there. So, in this case also, this makara will be changes to vakara. So, payas mat becomes payas vat. So, this is the meaning of this sutra. Madupadayasha matorvo yavadibhyaha. This ayavadibhyaha means in case of some words which belongs to yavadi gana, this rule is not applicable. So that is represented by ayavadibhyaha. Yavadibhyaha means it is the panchami bahuvachana yavadi. Ayavadi means it is not applicable to yavadi. Here matoho is the shashti, so it represents tani. So in place of mat, that vakara is the adesha here. That vakara will be placed. Since these two are in panchami, so the sthani will be immediately after panchami. So makara will be replaced here in this by matoho the shashti ekavachana. It is the matoho is the shashti ekavachana of matu. By matu or mattu, it is not clear whether that vakara comes in place of takara or makara or makarottara akara. But since these two are in panchami, if the since the nimittas are in panchami, it means the change should happen immediately after the change should happen in the letter which is present immediately after the Panchami words. Means here the letters which are represented by Panchami are this Makara and Akara. So immediately after that Makara is there, not Takara. So the change that Vakara comes in place of Makara, not Takara. Okay, these are the two example. Lopo Vyor Vali. Vyoho Vali Pare Lopah Bhavati. Mat Upadayascha Matorvo Ayavadibhyaha. Matoho Vaha. Mat Cha Upadayascha. Mat Upadayascha. Matoho Mat Upadayascha Vaha Ayavadibhyaha. So, Makara of the Matu Pratyaya will be replaced by Vakara when this Pratyaya is preceded by Makara or Akara. If they are present in Upada position, also this change will happen. Okay, the next sutra is Tasminiti Nirdishte Purvasya. By this, Saptami represents Paranimitta. It means if the word is present in Saptami, then it tells the action should happen in the entity which is present before that Purvasya, before that letter. For example, if you take the same example, Lopo Vyor Vali, that Vali is present in Saptami. So it represents all the Vyanjanas except Yakara. We learned that. So Vali is in Saptami, so the change should happen in the previous entity. So this Thani should be present here. So Vakara, Yakara, they get deleted. This one. Yeah. Y plus the here, Takara. It is present in it is represented by Val. So Val is this in Saptami. So the change should be happen in the entity which is present just before this Takara, that is Yakara. So for this change, this Takara is needed. So that is there. But since it is in Saptami, it tells that the action or the change will happen in the entity which is present before that. Similarly, Shadow Kasi. Shadoho Kaha Si. Shadoho Shashti. Kaha Pratama. Si Saptami. So C is in Saptami. So C is the Saptami of Sakara. So it tells that there will be conversion of Shakara and Dakara because they are in Shashti to Kakara. If there is Sakara after that, or if we just come from this C, if a Sakara is preceded by, if there are Shakara or Dakara before Sakara, then they too get converted to Kakara is the meaning. Let us consider this Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana form of this Dvish Dhatu in Lat Lakara. Dvish gets Sip and Shap is the Vikarna Pratyaya. Since Dvish belong to Adadi Gana, the second Gana, this undergoes deletion, Shap. Then Dvish plus Sip, their Pakara is Sip, so that gets deleted. Then since Sip is a Sarvadhatuka Pratyaya and Pakaraya, it is a Pit Pratyaya, there will be Gunadesha of Dvish, so it becomes Dvesh by Pugantalago Padasya Cha. Here, at this stage, this sutra is applicable, Shadow Kasi, because here Sakara is there, before that Shakara is there, so Shakara gets converted to Kakara. So after that, there will be Shatva, and the final form will be Dvekshi. Sakara will be replaced by Shakara. We will study in some point of time later. I just want you to understand that there will be Shakara to Kakara conversion when this Shakara is followed by Sakara. Similarly, if we take Likh Dhatu, same madhyama purusha ekavachana. This is also from adadi gana, so there will be deletion of shapo. Similarly, here also there is gunadesha of the dhatu. Then for hakaranta words, the dhatu, if it is present in if it ends with hakara, that akara gets changes to dakara, mahapranadha. So at this stage, there is dakara before sakara. So this dakara gets converted to kakara by our present sutra, Shadokasi. So then Lekshi is the final form. Tasmad ityuttarasya. Uttarasya means after that. Tasmad is present in Panchami. If a letter is or word is represented in Panchami, it tells that the karya will be happen on the entity which is present immediately after that uttarasya. If you take the same example, Madhupadayascha Maturvo Yavadibhyaha, here Mat is in Panchami. So it tells that Makara and Akara are needed for the change, but the change will happen on the entity which is present immediately after Makara and Akara. So what is present immediately after Makara and Akara? That is Mat, which is present in Shashti in the Sutra. So the change will happen here. But for this change to happen, this Makara and Akara are needed. Otherwise, that change will not be happen. For example, in case of Shakti plus Mat, Shakti Mat, we know that the form is Shakti Mat. Shakti Mat, because here the last letter is E, which is followed by Makara. So since there is no Akara or Makara, there will not be conversion of Makara to Vakara. So that Nimitta is needed, but the change happens in the entity which is present after that. Similarly, one more example, Radabhyam Nishtato Napurvasya Chadaha. Radabhyam is the Panchami Dvivachana of Ra and Dha. Nishtato. Nishtato means the takara belonging to Nishta. Naha. It is the Adesha. Purvasya Chadaha. The change happens for the dakara which is present in the purva position, means which is present before also. If you take example, it will be clear. Nishta means ta and ktavatu. These two pratyaya are called as nishta by the sutra taktavatu nishta. There is a sutra taktavatu nishta. Taktavatu nishta. By this sutra, ta pratyaya and ktavatu pratyaya, they are called by a single name nishta. So Anishtato means that takara belonging to Nishta Pratyaya. So if we consider this example, chur plus ta. Chur means to make into ashes, to burn into ashes. So if we add ta Pratyaya to this dhatu, chur plus ta, kaisit. Here at this stage, there is refa which is followed by takara of Nishta Pratyaya. This should be takara from nishta pratyaya, means it should either from ta pratyaya or tavatu pratyaya, not from any other pratyaya like tavyat. There also there will be takara will be there, but in that case it is this sutra is not applicable. This sutra is applicable only for that of ta and tavatu pratyaya. Chur plus ta. Here radabhyam, it is in panchami. If after rakara or dakara, after rakara and dakara, nishtato taka, this is shashti, so this is tani, takara of nishta, naha, this is pratama, so takara will be changes to nakara is the meaning. So here ra is there, after that nishta takara is there, so this takara will be replaced by nakara. Chur plus ta becomes chur plus na. So if since there is refa here, the na gets changes to na, churna. Similarly, pur dhatu is there, to complete, to fill is the meaning. Pur plus ta, again refa followed by ta, again the ta changes to na, pur na. Similarly, as in case of churna, we find the we saw the natvana, the same rule applies here. It becomes pur na. And in case of dakara, then also this takara will be replaced by nakara. But in the sutra, it is stated as purvasya chadaha. It means dakara which is present before also gets changes to na is the meaning. So this dakara present here also becomes na. So with na it becomes binna. Similarly, if you take the dhatu pad plus ta, here ta is there, here da is there, radabhyam nishtato naha, purvasya chadaha, purvasya daha cha. The dakara present in purva means before the nishta takara, that also becomes na is the meaning, so it becomes panna. So this is about these three sutras. षष्टिस्थाने योग तस्मिन् निदिष्टे पूर्वस्य तस्मादित्युत्तरस्य. In the previous class, Sundar Mahodaya asked, inquired about if there are any sutras where both Purva Nimitta and Paranimitta are there. So this is one of these such example, Jalo Jali. Here Sasya comes as Anurutti from the previous sutra, Lopaha also comes as Anurutti. Here Panchami, Shashti, Saptami and Pratama, all four vibhaktis are present. It means shell letter, there will be sakarasya lopaha because sa is in shashti, sasya is in shashti, so sasya is this shashti of sa, so there will be lopa is in present in panchami, sorry, pratama, so there will be lopa of sakara if it is followed by a gel letter and is preceded by gel letter. If there is a gel letter before and after sakara, then there will be lopa of that sakara. In the derivation of atmanepada pratama purusha ekavachana form of biddhatu in lung lakara, this sutra is applicable at this stage where bid here sakara is present, before that gel letter is there, after that also gel letter is there, at this stage sakara gets deleted. For this deletion both nimitta should be there. If gel letter is there, but if there is no gel letter here, then it is not applicable.